皆さん、こんにちは。お元気ですか？私は BYU のバーです。じゃあ、今日はレッスン2の3をやります。Would you like to be able to say where you're going and what you're going to do in Japanese? Because after this lesson, you'll be able to do it. じゃあ、始めましょう。Nika-san. Our objectives for this lesson are to talk about where you are going and what you are going to do. Before we get any farther with this video, pause right now and write down notes on these vocabulary words. Pause again here to write down these last 6 vocabulary words. Here's our sentence pattern, our bunpo, for this lesson. We're talking about where we are going and what we are going to do. And the way you say this in Japanese is you name a place and then add the particle e, which points in the direction of where you are going. And then you say the verb of what you're going to do at that place. So the verb in its stem form, and then after that, the particle ni, and then a direction verb. So this is what that looks like. 海へ泳ぎに行きます. Umi is the sea. That is where we are going. And so that is what we put behind the particle e. And then the verb we are saying is oyogu, which means to swim. So the stem form of oyogu is oyogi. And so after oyogi, we put ni, because that's what we're going to do once we get to the ocean. And then finally, we put our direction verb, ikimasu, which means to go. So say that with me. Ume e oyogi ni ikimasu. One more time. Say it after me. Ume e oyogi ni ikimasu. Keep in mind that ikimasu is not the only directional verb that can apply with the same grammar sentence. You can also use kimasu and kaerimasu. Kimasu means to come, so the opposite direction of going. And kaerimasu means specifically to come home. It can also be used with this pattern. Okay, so let's practice. So let's say that you are going to the bank to pull out some money. So this is what this would look like. The place you are going is the bank, or ginko. So that is what we put with e. And what we're going to pull out is money. And so we can insert a direct object into our sentence by doing this. Okane o. Then the next part of our sentence would be the action verb we're going to do once we're at the bank. And so to pull out is hikidasu. And so in stem form plus ni, we'd say hikidashi ni. And since we are going to the bank as opposed to coming to the bank, we end it with ikimasu. That is how you'd say, I'm going to the bank to pull out money. Say it after me. Ginko e okane o hidashi ni ikimasu. Okay, let's do some more practice. And this time, I want you to come up with each part of the sentence on your own before I show you the answer. In this scenario, we are going to the post office to buy some stamps. Do you remember from your vocabulary list what the word is for post office? Try to remember and write it down. If you thought the word was yubinkyoku, you were right. Yubinkyoku is the word for post office, and that is the direction we're going, and so we're going to use the particle e after that. Since we're going to buy stamps, stamps is going to be our direct object. Can you remember what the vocabulary word is for stamps and which particle we would put after stamps? If you thought that the word was kite, then you are completely right. Kite and the particle after that, since this is a direct object, would be o. Since we're going to buy the stamps, what do you think our action verb that we are going to do at the post office is going to be? And what particle do you think is going to come after it? The correct answer is the verb kao, which means to buy. And so in verb stem form, we would say kai ni. Finally, can you think of what our direction verb is going to be? If you thought it would be ikimasu, you were completely right, because we are going to the post office to buy stamps. So let's practice this sentence all together. Repeat after me. 郵便局へ切手を買いに行きます。One more time. Repeat after me. 郵便局へ切手を買いに行きます。Let's move on to another example. Say you are going to the zoo to see the animals. There were a couple of the words that you need to make this sentence in the vocabulary list. So take some time right now and try to string the whole sentence together. Again, the sentence you were trying to say is, I'm going to the zoo to see the animals. Go ahead and pause the video and try to figure it out. If you got something close to this, then you are correct. The correct answer is 動物園へ動物を見に行きます。動物園 was the vocabulary word on your list for zoo. 動物 is the word for animals. 見る is the verb for seeing or looking at. And so in the stem form it would be 見に行きます. So repeat the sentence after me. 動物園へ動物を見に行きます. Keep in mind that you don't have to use the ending mas every time you use this sentence pattern. You can say something like ラーメンを食べに行きましょう to someone you would like to go out to eat ramen with. You could also say it with another verb instead of iku or ikimasu. And you can also say in past tense. For example, ラーメンを食べに行きました which is saying someone came to eat ramen, usually at my place. In a real sentence, it could look something like this. 昨日友達はうちに食べに来ました. 友達 is friend, and uchi means my house. So you could be telling someone that yesterday, a friend came to my house to eat ramen. Repeat that sentence after me to practice your pronunciation. 昨日友達はうちに食べに来ました. You could also use this with the verb 帰る or 帰ります, which means to come home. A good example of this phrase would be something like this. 昨日、父は昼ご飯をうちに食べに帰りました. So yesterday, my father, 父, came home to eat lunch. お昼ご飯, of course, being lunch. うちに, being home or our house. And 食べに, to eat. 帰りました, to come home. So practice your pronunciation after me. 昨日父はお昼ご飯をうちに食べに帰りました. So in review, this is what we've learned today. How to say where you're going and what you are doing when you get there. You've also learned how to use ikimasu, kimasu, and kairimasu in context. You've also practiced using the particle e, which points you in the direction of where you are going. And you've learned how to use the sentence pattern verb stem form ni, which describes what you are doing after you get where you're going. Thanks for watching and have a good rest of your day. Mata ne. Don't forget to study your vocab on Quizlet and remember to take your quiz on Canvas.